سەلام عەلەیکوم بەخێر بێنە بوانینەوە وانەی ئەمڕۆمان تەواو بە ئینگلیزی دەبێت وەکو ئامادەکاریەک بۆ ئاستی چوارم. So, hello everyone, welcome back to our Learning English Golden Key course. Today we're diving into a revision lesson for B1 level. So, let's dive into the revision from 41 to 50. The first unit, which was unit 41, and it was about talking about what is more interesting to you. I remember that the title was Reading Book is More Interesting. So in unit 41, we explored how to talk about activities that interest you more. For example, do you enjoy reading or writing more? Maybe you find one more enjoyable than the other. We also learned some useful vocabularies to help you express these preferences. Let me recap the vocabulary section to you. So the vocabulary section included some keywords and key expressions like do the cooking, make a mistake, make an effort, make money, have a bath, have a drink, take a break, take an exam, and have lunch. Next, I'll show you how you can use these expressions in a correct way. So we use phrases like enjoy reading or make an effort or even take a break in our conversations. Now let's revisit some examples that illustrate how to use these words and phrases. Do you enjoy writing? This is a basic example. Let's extend and make it more advanced. Do you enjoy writing in the morning? You see, in the morning is an adverb. We've added it to the basic example and made it a little bit more advanced. Do you enjoy writing late at night while everyone is asleep? Do you think you can enjoy reading on a plane? Yes, I enjoy it, but only at home, not somewhere else. Do you usually have a drink in a nearby cafe? Not actually. I prefer my mom's tea and coffee. You see, in this case, we're comparing home coffee and cafe coffee. I enjoy having lunch at home. I'd enjoy having a drink in a cafeteria. I'm interested in reading. I'm interested in reading rather than writing. I'm interested in biking rather than walking. Please use interested in. Okay, interested in. Do not forget in with the interested. These sentences help you clearly express what you prefer to do in your free time. This was all regarding Unit 41, and we could recap it. Now we will switch to Unit 42. Given reasons. So the title was I couldn't come because I was sick. In Unit 42, we focused on giving reasons to explain our actions and decisions. Whether you're explaining why you couldn't attend an event or why you were late, it's important to clearly communicate your reasons. Let me remind you of the vocabularies that we studied in that lesson. Run an errand, which means to do a task, to do something. Stuck in traffic. Mom was sick. Dad didn't drop me off, which means Dad didn't take me to that place. My brother didn't give me a ride. Was busy. You can say, sorry, I couldn't call you because I was busy. Couldn't wake up early. Stayed up late last night. Slept in. Slept in means to sleep again in the morning. And stomachache, which is a sickness. Okay, these phrases will help you explain various situations in everyday conversation. For example, if someone asks, what's happened? You might reply, Mom was sick. So I had to take care of her. Or if you are running late, you could say, I had to take a taxi because my brother didn't give me a ride. These examples show how to use the vocabulary section to give reasons more effectively. Let me remind you of the rest of the examples that we studied together. My dad was busy, so he asked for help. All of my family members were sick. Sorry, I can't. I have to visit my parents. Will you make it to the party tonight? I'll try to. but I'm sure I can't make it. My children asked me to take them to the park. Why didn't you call me back? Why haven't you invited so many people? I don't like crowded places. So, giving clear reasons, it helps others understand your situation better. It's a valuable skill in any language. And next we will continue with more useful topics from our course, so stay tuned. Now we have lesson 43, which is about talking about two sequences of events. The title was I Had Eaten Before You Came. In Unit 43, we learned how to describe sequences of events, explaining what's happened first and what followed. This is crucial for telling stories or explaining situations clearly. I remember that in the vocabulary section I told you about the conjunction words. Conjunction words that they are words that you can use to link two sentences together. When, before, after, while. And I also told you about the past perfect, which is usually the oldest form of the verb. Like it's always the first action that is going to happen or that happened. Had swum, had eaten, had run, finished, had arrived, had gone. So you can say swum, eaten, run, finished, arrived, gone. They are all in the PP, past participle form. For example, you might say after he had read all the letters, he felt happy. You see that after he had, this is the first action. He felt happy. This is the second action. This is the second action. So usually the first action should be expressed in past participle. Next example, the scientists had already found the cure when the government asked them for a solution. These sentences help us understand what's happened first and what happens next. Okay, so the rest of the examples in the unit was I called him while cleaning the house. I watched the movie while helping my father. I studied while calling you. First, I woke up. Then I dressed. Next, I ate breakfast. Later, I went to work, and finally, I had lunch at work. Your brother had done the homework, so he was allowed to watch the game with us on TV. I can't believe she ate my sandwich. I couldn't believe she had eaten my sandwich. You remember that can is for present, could is for past. I watched the movie while helping my father. I studied while calling you. So understanding and using sequence of events in English help us to tell stories and describe situations more effectively. Let's keep the momentum and going as we move on to the next unit. Okay, so Unit 44 is about sequences of events in more detail. In Unit 44, we expanded our understanding of how to narrate events like in a clear and organized way. We learned to use transition words like first, then, next, and finally to guide the listener or reader through a sequence of actions and events. So, then the vocabulary section included then, next, after that, finally, also, to, additionally, in addition, for instance, briefly, anyway, it seems, after all, in general, likewise, meanwhile, immediately, at last, currently. Okay, so let me show you how you can put these expressions, these conjunctions, these words in examples, right? So I can ask you, what are you planning? You can say, if you mean for this summer, I don't have specific plans. However, I want to brush up my English to find a new and better job. What did you do today in the morning? I drove to work. Next, I greeted all my friends. Then I entered the class and finally presented my presentation. At last, they all liked my presentation. In the end, and after all this hard work, my manager decided to promote me and then the rest of the staff too, but next season, not now. I'm the one who works hard in the company, so I got a promotion last week. Likewise, my opposite number got the same promotion, so I ended up feeling frustrated. I'm currently working in the lab, but I also have a plan to change my hospital soon. My next destination will be a well-known and a bigger hospital. So guys, please, mastering these transition words and phrases help you structure your thoughts more logically and makes your communication clearer. Let's move forward and explore the next units in more detail. And remember that after studying Unit 44, we had a short revision. This is what you can see on the screen. If you forgot to do it, you can just go ahead and do it right away. Or if you have done it before, you can do it again. So it's going to be like an extra revision for yourself. Next, we have Unit 45. Okay, in Unit 45, it was about English for traveling, and the title was When is my flight? In Unit 45, we explored the essential vocabulary and phrases that you'll need when traveling. Whether you're at the airport, catching a taxi, or navigating public transport, this unit equips you with the language tools to make your journey smoother. Let's recap the vocabulary section. I told you about the type of tickets or the type of the trips, which was one-way or a round trip, which is equal to two-way. We had the arrivals section, departure section. We had layover or transit. I told you about the gates, luggage, taxi stand, bus stop, train stations, or even subway, or in the UK they call it underground. I told you what's boarding pass. I told you about the types of the seats and tickets that you can have. You can have economy class, business class, and first class. To be honest, we usually have two types, only economy and business class. Okay, mostly. So I also told you about the cabin bag, okay, which is the bag that you can take it with yourself on a plane. So these terms are fundamental when discussing travel plans and navigating different stages of a journey. The best part of the lesson was the conversation practice. I remember that very well, so that's why I put the conversation over and over again. So the conversation was about a police officer or a passport control officer and a traveler, a lady traveler, a tourist. Okay, so the officer was asking her, do you need someone to translate for you? And the girl was saying, no, I'm fine, thanks. And then he was saying, where are you from and where are you traveling to? And she was saying, I'm from the Kurdistan region of Iraq and I'm traveling to the UK, London. He was saying, what is the purpose of your visit? And she was saying, I'm traveling for tourism and I pay a visit to some of my friends there too. He was asking, where will you stay? And she was saying, I will stay in XX Hotel in London. And he was asking her, can you give me the address, please? She was giving him the address. Yes, sure, it's on Oxford Street, LF435. Thanks, madam. Safe journeys. Thank you. But can you tell me when is my flight? Well, it's at 4:30 from gate 11. How long does it take? To my knowledge means I think 4.5 hours. That's cool. Thanks for your help. So learning travel-related English is a key to navigating your way through new places with ease. Let's continue our revisions by moving to the next unit. Unit 46, it was about politics. It's important for politicians, but it was a short lesson. It was a short video. I told you that if you don't like politics, you can just skip it or just listen to the lesson quickly. You don't have to pay too much attention to it if you don't like politics. So the title of the lesson was Politics. And Unit 46 introduces us to a language of politics, a vital area of English that helps you to understand and engage with discussions about government policies and societal issues. Whether you're reading news, discussing current events, or simply expanding your vocabulary, this unit equips you with key political terms and expressions. Remember that in the vocabulary section, I told you about democracy, liberal, left-wing, centrist, or right-wing. I told you about the authoritarianism or dictatorship, or conservative or Republican. We also had moderates or moderates, radical, extremists, and coup. P is silent. Coup was taking the power illegally by force. Coup. Don't say coup, please. Coup. So these words are essential for understanding different political systems and ideologies. For instance, knowing terms like Council of Ministries or Deputy of Prime Minister help you understand how government are structured and how different roles interact. We also discussed the significance of terms like conservative, radical, and extremist, which describe varying political beliefs and actions. Let me remind you of the most important expressions and words in that lesson. They were Council of Ministries, the Prime Minister, Deputy of Prime Minister, lawyer or attorney, state, region, province, secretary, vice, deputy, ministry, and minister. Ministry is the location, it's the building, but minister or minister is the person. Court, I think it is clear, court is where the judge rolls and sits there. So political plays a significant role in our world. We all know that, right? And being able to discuss it in English is really crucial. But let's continue our revision by moving on to the next unit, where we will explore even more useful topics. Unit 47, talking about possessions. So the title was It's Mine. And so in Unit 47, we learned how to talk about ownership and possession, something that comes up in everyday conversation all the time. Whether you're talking about your own belongings or asking about someone else's, knowing how to use possessive forms is key. Let me remind you of the vocabulary section. I told you that for a position, we can use the person's noun like akar, add apostrophe and s to the noun, and then the ownership. For example, akar's car, we have added apostrophe and s to the name. The student's bags, the children's books. But be careful that once the noun is being made or is changed to plural by adding the s, you cannot add another s to the end of the noun and make it like a possessive and say student's bags. No. In that case, since the noun is ended with s, we cannot add another n to the end of the noun. So the student's bags, we only add the apostrophe without the s. Be careful of that situation. So we had two types of possessive words. We had possessive adjectives like my, your, his, her, its, our, your, their. We have to add, or these words are followed by a noun. You have to add a noun to it. Like you can say my car, your car, his car, her car, its car, our car, your car, their car, like this. Okay, but in the case of possessive pronoun, we don't have to add anything to the possessive pronouns, right? So these are the possessive pronouns. Mine, yours, his, hers, its, ours, yours, theirs. You see, we cannot add any words to the end of the possessive pronoun because they are called pronouns, so you don't have to add another noun to it. Okay, so as you can see on the right side, I have written so many examples to you, like, do you think her job is satisfactory? Do you think his car is faster? Do you think your clothes or your dress or your suit will stand out? Do you like his car or mine? So these are the, a number of examples. Or you can say, is this ours? These laptops are theirs. Theirs are just nicer. Will this be yours? Will this be his? So these are a number of examples that you can recap them. You can read it on the screen, and I'm sure that you will remember everything that we had studied in that lesson. So guys, understanding possession in English helps you express ownership clearly and accurately. Let's move on to the next unit and continue building our skills together. Ready? Great. So unit 48 was about talking about adverbs. So the title was I Eat Slowly. So remember that to make adverbs of manner, because we have different types of adverb, like adverbs of location, adverbs of manner, or sorry, adverbs of place, adverb of place, adverbs of manner. We have so many types of adverbs, but to make adverbs of manner, which answers the question how you did that action, and you tell him I did that quickly, slowly, and like that, you only add ly to the adjective. For example, proud, you make it proudly. Okay? So in unit 48, we explored how to use adverbs to describe how actions are performed. Adverbs give us more information about the verbs and adding detail to our sentences and helping us express ourselves more precisely. So you can say proudly, softly, madly, slowly, urgently, instantly, thoroughly, deeply, certainly, briefly, quickly, actually, never, always, rudely. You see, they all finished and ended with ly. Okay, let me give you so many examples regarding this lesson. You can say, by the way, it's always important to put the adverbs at the end of the sentence. Apart from using verb to be cases like is and are, which you have to add it to after the verb to be. Like you can say, I am proudly speaking Kurdish. Okay, you add it to after the verb to be. He played nicely. I gently asked him. Do you know who behaved rudely last night? Do you think if he can drive the car nicely? Briefly, the journey was everything. We truly deserved to win the match. They clearly announced that they are no longer helping us. I instantly called him. I'm certainly gonna think about that. I urgently asked for help. I drove the car madly. They help my mom daily. Or you can also say they daily help my mom. She answered quickly. So guys, mastering adverbs is essential for making our English more expressive and detailed. Let's move on to the next unit and continue enhance our skills. Okay, great. So unit 49 was about abbreviations. In unit 49, those short forms of acronym that have become a major part of online communication. Whether you're texting, emailing, or posting on social media, knowing these abbreviations can make your digital interaction quicker and more efficient. Okay, what you see on the screen is the abbreviations. Please pause the video and recap everything. For example, LOL was laughing out loud. BRB was be right back. BTW was by the way. Or we've also discussed XOXO was hugs and kisses. PPL was for people. IMO was in my opinion. Okay, these are very, very important. Or POV was point of view, FYI for your information, and the rest of the abbreviations. So, guys, let me give you some examples regarding the abbreviations, right? So you can say, by the way, you only use them for writing. you cannot use them for speaking, or let's say while speaking. Okay, so be careful about the abbreviations, and it's fully informal. Do not write it in a formal emails. When you write for a government, when you write for your to your manager, do not use these abbreviations. So that the examples were, I'm busy now, TTYL, which means talk to you later. There are thousands of people here. Sarah is my best friend forever. You're playing just like a noob. A noob is a new player that has no skills. I have received so many spam emails. What's your ASL, age, sex, location? Or use a lot of hashtags in your post. Okay, so guys, now that you're familiar with the internet abbreviation, let's move on to the final unit in our revision and wrap up everything that we've learned. Unit 50, collocations. The title, I do my homework. Unit 50 focuses on collocations, which are pairs or groups of words that are commonly used together. Understanding collocations help you sound more natural and fluent in English, as native speakers often use these words and combinations together without even thinking about it. So please use the collocations correctly. Believe me, guys, it's even more important than idioms and proverbs and so on. Collocations are really important. So I told you about 4 different types of collocations: make, have, take, and do, right? So I'm just going to remind you that make is used with coffee, tea. So you can say make tea for me, make coffee for me, make lunch, make food, make decision, make excuse, make offer, make friends, make call. And have is used with bath. You can say have a bath, have a drink, have sympathy, have holiday, have a good time. Take is used with break. So you can say take a break, take a chance, take a seat, take an exam, take notes, take a look. Do. Do is used with business, nothing, someone a favor, washing, do her, do your homework. Okay, let me give you some examples on a collocation, or let me remind you of those examples because we've already covered these examples. My mom made a coffee and then did the dishes. I had a bath yesterday and I think that's why I have a cold. Do you think we can take this chance? Do you think taking notes will help you better understand? I think taking a lot of notes is harmful. You lose focus. You should limit them. I have to do my homework tonight. Then my parents will let me play video games. Do you want me to do your hair for you? Taking the first step is usually the hardest. If you don't take this seat, someone else will take it. Let's have the next holiday in Malaysia. Let's have a barbecue on the roof of the house. Don't refuse this offer, or let's say that offer. The company is not going to make another offer to you. I made my decision last night. I can't accept the offer. I made a good tea last night, right? So guys, keep practicing, and remember, consistency is a key to mastering any language. Thank you for joining this revision session, and I wish you the best of luck. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time, and bye-bye.